Hi everyone, my name is Vanessa, one of the organizers of Pan Paracon. Today is the beginning of our latest venture, Personal Pans, a podcast about the weird things we experience, belief, and transformation. Our first guest is Melissa Resendez. She's an incredibly talented artist, a connoisseur of the paranormal and conspiracies, and also one of my favorite people on the planet. She also designed our logo, which I'm completely in love with. I filmed this episode a couple weeks ago and she went through a little bit of a rebranding since then. So you can find her art at meloticart, that's Melotic art, on Instagram. I would encourage you to follow her. Also follow her podcast. Those links haven't changed. I'll put all the links in the description and you can check it out. Like I said, Melissa is one of my favorite people. She always has interesting things to say about weird and wonderful things, and hopefully you will enjoy this conversation.
Ooh, dun, 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 dun. It's official now.
And I gotta click got it so that
Excellent.
I know that
so
I was
that you
being
know
recorded.
you have consented to being recorded
Yeah.
and talking about weird and wild shit.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, I just gotta tell you the story
Yes.
that happened recently. And it just has like that gnome vibe, okay? But like I know what I said, but I gotta tell you this story.
I understand.
Dude. Okay. So, I have my lizards. One of them is a gargoyle gecko.
Okay.
So those guys, they jump a lot. They move a lot. Well, I have a tank that's taped shut. Okay, like it's taped shut and it's closed, and it needs a human hand to open it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this guy got out somehow.
What?
And the door was wide open, and he must weigh like 2 ounces at most.
Right.
And I don't know, man. It felt like someone opened it, and I couldn't find him for 2 fucking days, dude.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I would just like paint on the floor.
Yeah.
And sit as silent as I could. Just to be able to hear any crinkling somewhere, any movements anywhere,
Of course.
And like after 2 days, I was like getting a little depressed.
Of course.
Still in denial.
Yes.
But like, oh, it's all good, I'll find him. But getting depressed.
Of course.
Because, okay, you seen where I work in the basement.
Yes.
That's
yeah.
It's a really hard place to find a tiny gecko.
Of course, yes. Little baby.
Okay. So after those 2 days of looking, it was nighttime and I sat down to paint again on the floor, right? I was painting right next to me. There he was.
What?
Looking at me.
What?
I'm fucking serious, dude.
So did like the fairies take him for a couple days and then just brought him back?
It's like I was painting there all fucking day.
That's bananas. Yeah.
It was insane. And he was just plopped next to me. Like literally like looked down, nothing, looked back, boom.
That's wild. Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
It is weird. How long ago did this happen?
Probably like a month ago, but like
but still
scary.
Yes, that's recent.
Yeah, and I'm just like that just doesn't happen.
Right, exactly. To just disappear. It's like disappearing. Okay, it's the reappearing like that. It was like, oh, there's something else going on here, isn't there? Like
he wasn't even hiding. He was just in plain sight next to my stuff, just looking at me with his big eyes. I was like, who the fuck put you there? Right next to me, like literally.
Totally, exactly. And looking at you because he has stories to tell about the other realm he visited for 2 days.
Yeah, he looked like a war survivor. Like he looked like he'd been through some shit.
Of course.
Poor squeaky little thing.
He went through a trial
I
in
don't
Fairyland.
something, dude. Like the whole story is just so weird. Like I can't believe he opened it
Right. That doesn't make sense. Especially
because
since
it
you know, like, this is going to take effort to.
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
something where you really have to like twist and
Yeah.
then push open a door.
Okay. Yeah, that's not.
It's
Little
fucking weird.
baby's not going to do that.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
so weird. Yeah, but
Yeah. So, like, is this the only thing that's happened there, or has like, or just the most recent thing?
I mean, this house is chill. You know, all
Yeah.
different houses have different vibes. This one, like, it's pretty fucking chill. Even though, like, a lot of the belongings in this basement, are this guy's who committed suicide.
Oh my
So,
God. Yeah.
like, and he left behind a lot of art supplies.
Oh wow.
And so people are like, yeah, go ahead and use them. But
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, thank you for letting me use your stuff. 'Cause,
Totally.
like, I don't know, man, that's weird to
Yes,
me.
of course. Yes. But I mean, I don't know. Yes. As somebody, again, my mom has been trying to like pawn off all my aunt stuff on me. And I'm just like, some of it I will take. Some of it I'm like, I don't need this energy, right? You know?
Right. Yeah, but like I feel like I mean those were his tools. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Totally. Yes.
So it's a little uncomfortable for me. But I'm just like uncomfortable with that kind of stuff in general. Just because like it's like I don't like to be reminded of like some negative stuff. Like
Of course.
he was a really troubled guy. He killed himself. You know.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So that's why I'm like, if you're still around, sorry.
I know.
But thank you.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
think the thank you and the I'm sorry are both really good. And probably too, if he was an artist, it might bring him joy to know that like these things are being used still, right? Like
Yeah.
that someone else can like has a reverence for them and like a
Yeah.
proper appreciation for it. It's like, okay, I can incorporate this into my work, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, hey, give me a little bit of help. I'm just kidding.
I mean, why not? If he's hanging around, you might as well be useful.
I don't think he is though.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't think he is. I don't feel that presence.
Yeah.
But because I feel like it would be a bit darker, right? Like
Like a
someone
heaviness,
hung
I would
themselves,
think.
dude. Like
Oh,
I just
geez.
feel like it would be more of a darker energy.
Of course. Yeah.
So I don't know. It might be haunting the ex-wife or something. I'm not sure. But not here.
I mean, that's great. If just the joy, if only his like joy of making art and creating has remained in the tools, great. You can.
Dude, and then like the weirdest part is that they have all his pictures and kids' pictures and like things like that, like certificates.
Oh my
And
God.
it's like, damn, must have been a nice wife.
You're right.
You just let's just stick everything in the family friend's basement.
My God, right.
I mean, he must have not been like a petty sign, because if it was like a petty Virgo, they would have been like, yo,
Oh, that
where's
would
my
have
shit here?
exactly. I know that shit would be flying around. This is not organized the way I want it.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my God. A Virgo might be the worst ghost.
You know what? I think you're right. Yeah.
They're probably like the ones like that do all the poltergeist activity.
I was just about to say they sound like poltergeists because
Yeah.
again, they're upset that things aren't in the place that they put them in.
Yeah,
Like,
and they definitely have the vibe of if it's not right, it's not gonna happen at all. Break.
exactly right. I'm smashing all your glassware because I don't like the look of it.
See, where a Cancer ghost would just like bring forth either smells of baked goods or complete and utter sadness.
Just a mix of the two. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that pumpkin bread smells delicious, but I can't get out of bed because I hurt.
That's my current life right now. Damn it.
Sorry to just stare into your soul like that.
You read me. It's that Scorpio moon, right?
That's it.
Scorpio season.
It's Scorpio season. Exactly. So many more feelings now, and I hate it.
I've been going through it, man, with them feelings, dude.
Of course, yeah.
Like, not even like reasonable ones, just like petty shit. Like, petty's been activated.
I mean, again, it is Scorpio season, so
I know.
like the tiniest grudge, and you'll carry it forever.
Oh my god. What was I gonna say? Oh fuck, I lost my thought. My train of thought. It's okay. Oh, what was it? Must have not been that great.
or maybe the gnomes are protecting you from saying anything.
I don't think that's how they play. I think they like, that mischief and shit.
Yeah, right.
Just, stealing pets, taking them out to fly or something. I don't know.
Of course. Yeah. But they brought it back. Like,
yeah, but he's skinnier now.
Really?
Oh my god, what if they switched up?
I was about to say, what if it's a different gecko?
It hasn't been eating that well.
Oh no. Because it doesn't know how to eat normal food. It needs fairy food. It needs gnome food.
It can't find its food. Like, what the fuck? Like, Kevin knows.
Right.
Like, you should be able to find your food. It smells. I can smell it from here. Like, it's papaya.
Exactly. Right. It's like you're adapted to only chase food. Like, you should be able to know where your food is.
You don't even have to hunt it. It's in the corner. Like,
right.
You would never survive in New Caledonia or whatever it is you're from.
Right. Well, yeah, it survived for 2 days just wandering around the basement.
Supposedly.
Right. If it's not a changeling gecko. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I feel like the changeling thing,
mm-hmm.
like when I read about it, the stories in the old days, like, man, I felt like people just made that up because they didn't like their kids,
Oh, totally. Yes.
Like, my kid, I think it's growing up and it might have autism. It's a fairy, it's not mine.
Exactly.
Like that kind of.
Oh, totally. Yes. I think any kind of like neurodivergence or any kind of physical disabilities, you're just like, nope, changeling, it's not mine.
Right.
I'm just gonna leave it in the woods. Like,
don't worry, it'll turn to a rock or a twig or something. It's all good.
Exactly.
It's kind of sad though that these stories are fun, but like a lot of them have like darker sides.
Very dark. Yes.
It's like the thing where they say that reality is sometimes like worse than fiction.
Yes. Yeah.
So maybe these like kids were like deformed or something, and they were like, oh no, it's the Antichrist,
Totally. Yes. Yeah.
And really, it was just that the mom was, who knows what, smoking something, eating something.
Totally. Yes. Or malnourished, or, again, random genetics. They didn't have a concept of genetics back then. Like,
or maybe inbred even.
That too. Exactly. You don't know what's happening out in the woods. Like, anything.
Yeah. I'm scared of the woods.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
It's just like so many people just like get fucked up in the woods, dude.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So many stories, so many folk tales are about like why you shouldn't go wandering around in the woods, because something's going to eat you or tear you apart or drag you off to another reality.
Yeah. I was walking in the woods the other day. David wanted to look for mushrooms.
Oh, nice.
And I was like feeling bullied by the woods.
Oh yeah. Were the woods mean to you?
They were mean.
So
they
rude.
called me names. I'm just kidding.
Scorpio trees.
Right? I had like these little sharp things all over my pants, and I had to throw my pants away.
Oh no.
Because I could not take them off.
Oh my God. You were bullied by the woods. Yes.
And then I was like, wow, the woods don't like people. And as I said that, this like long vine with thorns, like just like caught my thigh and literally scraped me, and I have like 3 like scratches still.
Oh my God. Oh boy.
Like
Yeah.
literally as I said that.
Yeah, those woods don't like people.
It was like we don't bitch.
Yeah,
Just say
exactly.
it up front.
Just live with it. Yeah, exactly.
The woods was like stay in your lane, which is the trail.
Exactly. Yeah, right. It's like
Yeah,
we
they don't
allow
like-
you to walk here and that's it. Yeah,
That's it. And it's when people walk off trail that shit goes fucked up.
of course. Yes. Right. Right. This idea of like liminal spaces, dangerous things happen there. So you gotta be
Yeah.
careful. Yeah.
And have you been to any national parks?
Oh my God, I don't think so.
That's why
No.
you're still here.
I avoid the woods. I am pale. I'm allergic to things. I concrete separated from outside. That's the best for me.
Man, like, and then when my sisters went to Mexico, like it's inevitable that they have to walk through the woods to go visit like family members, you know?
Oh my God. Okay.
And that is where 2 of my sisters saw the long white figures just like floating in space. One of them was floating on water.
Oh my God.
But it's like, so they said that it was a really
Yes.
tall, almost see-through type of thing.
Okay.
And it was kind of like glowy white, but it didn't have any facial features or anything.
Okay.
And I tried looking it up, but I really couldn't find like an exact match.
Interesting.
Do you-
I feel like you have talked about this before. Can you just, for anybody else who hasn't heard about this, like,
yeah.
because you know several people who have seen these like tall white figures.
Yeah, in Mexico.
Yeah.
To
Okay.
the point where my grandma was like, "Oh yeah, that thing's around. We've seen it before. It comes around. Like it's normal."
Oh my God.
Like, oh, the white shadow. Yeah, we've seen it. We know of him. He's there.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
my younger sister has this story of seeing it get closer and closer to them
Mm-hmm.
while they were outside, like like having a little fire.
Oh my God.
And it would just get closer, closer, and then farther, and then closer again.
Oh
And
my
then they just
God.
all decided to go inside. They were like, "Fuck that."
Yeah, of course. we're not messing with this. Bye.
Yeah, except for my older sister,
Yeah.
who's like a crazy Sagittarius, and she was
Yes.
like, "I'm gonna stay. It ain't gonna come over here," and it didn't.
A fire just like burned it away.
Yeah, she's a Sagittarius Taurus, so
Okay. Stubborn.
that's
Yes. Yeah. A lot of
was ready.
stubborn
She's-
fire.
she's ready for a fight at all times, no matter what kind of entity it is.
I like, well, that Taurus too. It's like, don't mess with my house, my home. If I take my home with me, don't mess with this space. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
pretty
my
good.
area. I wanted to have a nice day, and you're not gonna ruin it.
Exactly. I don't care what you are or where you're from. You are not intruding on my space.
Do not mess with my marshmallows.
Exactly.
Yeah, that kid is wild, man.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, she's the one that's had like a lot of the weird supernatural events happen in her life, I guess.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And then my other sister, who is a Pisces,
Hmm.
Virgo, she's
Okay.
had a lot of weird encounters as well.
Okay.
And then my other sister, who's a Cancer,
Mm-hmm.
she's a Cancer Aries. Nothing.
Interesting.
Nothing in general. She's a ding dong. But
Well, if there's no thoughts getting in there, no entities are going to try to communicate.
it's like she's really like aloof. So like even if she's seen something, she probably didn't even notice.
Right. Or care. Just like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, that's just a thing that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, like the ghosts are probably like waving at her, and she's like, "Bye, mom." Well, she's like texting her boyfriend or something. That's the vibe.
I mean, that's probably like a healthier way of approaching it rather than being
Right.
scared, right?
Yeah, man. But in that house that I grew up in, the worst
Yeah.
thing that I've heard my sister mention
Yeah.
is coming home, no one there, and of all things, at the end of the hallway, like peeking out, they just see toes, like someone's feet,
Oh my God.
and then they hear like a giggle,
Okay.
and then
Yes.
they think that another sister's home.
Of
They find
course.
find out no one's home.
Oh my God.
Weird.
That's very weird. Yes. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Just giggling feet. Like nobody
Just
wants that.
yeah. And another thing that happened is I was like I was trying to scare my boyfriend David.
Sure.
Okay. And we're all my family's there, all my sisters and my mom. And I'm like, see this part over here? This is where you kind of feel like at night you kind of feel like you can't walk there because there's like a little girl ghost that hangs around here.
Yes.
And then my other sister comes out and says, "You've seen her too?"
Oh no.
Yeah. And then I was like, hold the fuck up.
Right. This is too much.
I was like, it was all supposed to be fun and games. I'm scared.
Well, right, exactly. It's fun when you're trying to scare somebody else. It's not fun when someone is scaring you with real
Yeah.
things that happen.
Yeah. And she was like, yeah, I seen her. I felt really sick one day. And then I seen her and then I threw up.
Oh my God.
I know. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, she said that she was wearing like a white gown, like the classic,
Yeah, of course.
Well, and then my mom pointed out, well, that's what people dress their kids in when they die. And I was like, oh,
Oh, right.
I never thought about that. I just thought that they died at night when they were wearing pajamas.
Of course.
Like a dumbass.
Yeah. Exactly. I thought that too. So we're in part of the dumbass club.
Damn it.
Dang.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of weird that
Yeah.
this whole time I had the idea. Like, it's not like I made it up at that point. I always had that like idea in my head,
Yes, right.
And you're always thinking I'm making things up. I'm really imaginative.
Of course. Yes.
But when two people like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a little bit spooky that I got it so close.
Of course. Yes. Yes. I was about to say one of my favorite books. It's not my favorite book. It was an interesting book I read. It's called The Demon by I'm going to get his name now. But he talks about this, Anthony Peake. He talks about this idea of like the kind of dual nature of existence, right? So there's like the Eidolon and the demon, right? That like your demon is basically your flesh and blood that is like walking around in the world, and their Eidolon is like your higher self. This idea that like if you live multiple lives, or like multiple universes or whatever, your Eidolon is the one who remembers like everything that happens and can like communicate, right? So like this idea that like whatever, maybe some other intel, and that it can communicate through like dreams or through creative projects, right? So if like your sister saw something and your Eidolon was like, hey, there's a little girl there, and you're like, I'm going to tell this story, like that's how it comes out and meshes up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always felt like there was something like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, man, just sometimes things like that feel like they're happening,
Totally. Yes.
Like yesterday I entered a contest.
Mm-hmm.
And sorry, I just saw a charge on my card.
Oh.
I was like, who the fuck? Oh yeah, it was me.
Okay,
And,
good.
Okay, but yesterday I entered a contest.
Yeah.
It was a bingo game.
Oh,
like,
okay.
well, kind of like that. Like,
yeah,
pick a number between 1 and 700.
Sure.
And you get an NFT.
Oh, okay.
And I just felt I was in the car just like mindlessly thinking of numbers,
Yes.
and I literally just felt like someone said in my ear 626. And I like wrote it without even I like typed it without even like
Yes.
feeling like I was typing, and I won.
Oh my God. That's incredible.
Yeah, and it's like a number between 1 and 700. All these people are playing. Like,
Yes, exactly.
it felt so weird.
Well,
It
of
felt so
course.
weird. It felt like
Well,
my mind was on autopilot.
yes, right. Well, and that's part of this book too. This idea that like again, your higher consciousness, it's always trying to like break through, but because you're kind of adapted to like existing in this like three-dimensional space, you're not always necessarily connected to it. But if you're like kind of zoned out and receptive, it can just essentially speak, like you said, just like tell your brain like
Mhm.
what it is, you know, and then you just do it because you're like, okay.
Yeah. Do you think that can be like, I don't know, man. Well, now I'm confusing myself a little bit
Okay.
because my brain is going a million miles per hour now.
Okay, great.
But I don't know, like sometimes I feel like in dreams they kind of show you like other lives.
Yes.
How do you
Oh,
think?
100%. Yes.
Do
Yeah.
you have any dreams that feel like that, like specific ones?
Yeah. Well, I had this crazy like I feel like the dreams that you have that have like really deep emotional resonance are like the ones where you're like catching glimpses of something else. Because I think that dreams can tell you about the future, and I also think that dreams can kind of like show you other realities.
Mhm.
Like I had this dream when I was maybe like 20, early 20s, maybe late teens, and it was this like I was on another planet and I was part of this like science like expedition to this other planet, and there were these three like identical triplets, and they were blonde and they were like the nicest people I'd ever met, and something had gone wrong with like one of the experiments we'd done, and it caused this like toxic reaction that was gonna like add this like chemical cloud essentially over their entire sky. And I still remember like the blue of that sky, right? And like we couldn't survive, like they could survive the environment, we couldn't, whatever that chemical thing had done. And I was like weeping, like crying and weeping, having to leave like my friends and go on the ship and go home. And I woke up and I was weeping, and I'm just like, I saw something. It felt like I had gone to another world or another reality where this stuff was happening, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that feels like you've seen something that you weren't supposed to see, huh?
Did, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I've had a few. I feel like, again, I feel like everybody kind of connects with, like, I don't know if you want to call it the divine, maybe just the other, you know, kind of the outside in a different way. I think some people get like creative ideas, some people have dreams, some people are actually kind of psychic or mediums where they're kind of just just reading things that other people aren't reading, you know. But I think it works differently for everybody because I think everyone is a different kind of conduit for
Yeah.
this stuff. Yeah.
What do you think is going on with people who don't remember dreams or claim to not dream?
I I
You think they're
mean,
just closed off like that
I
much?
I do, yes, because like the subconscious, it's like it's so emotionally powerful, and so it's kind of, I don't know, if people like don't dream, it's like, okay, are you afraid to access any kind of subconscious stuff?
Mhm.
And if you are, then again, we're evolutionarily adapted to like protect ourselves and to survive in three-dimensional space. And so again, I think dreams can kind of connect you to other dimensions, other realities. And if you like cannot deal with it, your brain's just like, guess what? Doesn't exist. It's out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, yeah, because the people that I talk to that happens to, it's like the people that don't believe in anything
Sure.
except
Yes.
like I'm here, I gotta pee, I gotta eat.
Right.
There's no
Right.
ghosts.
Right.
The moon doesn't do nothing.
It's not a satellite.
It's just a rock.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, I was
Yeah.
um the dream thing,
Yes.
like I had these dreams like a few times in a row where it was like an alternative version of my boyfriend. and he was like a different version. He was like
Oh my
mean.
God.
He was,
Really?
I would tell people about these dreams, and I would call him like asshole David, you know?
Right.
Like, you guys would never guess what asshole David did in my dream this time.
Oh, his evil
But
twin.
yeah,
Yeah.
but then in another dream, um we were in the loop,
Hmm.
and he got shot.
Oh my God.
And I'm so serious when I say that I remember like the fear in his eyes of realizing what was happening.
Oh my God.
Like, I felt like for the first time I was like seeing someone die, like for real.
Of course. Yes.
And then I never had those dreams again of
Interesting.
his alternative version.
Right. Oh my God. Wild.
I know. I know.
Yeah. Like that definitely feels like some parallel universe that you were like peeking into in your dreams.
I'm saying.
Right.
But since then,
Yeah.
and it was like kind of fucked up, and it kind of scarred me a little bit.
Yeah.
But now I kind of like dreams more,
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
because now I'm like, what else you got?
Yeah. Show me everything.
Show me the rich me.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Yes. And then figure out how to travel to that parallel universe so you can have that money.
Dude, but would you want to though? You know what I mean?
Totally. Right. Well, there's always a drawback, right? Whatever you think is going to be better, it's like, okay, is it better
Mhm.
or is it just money? Are there other issues?
Do you think if you were able to do that, do you think you'd be aware?
That's a good question. Okay, so I'll tell you about a story. I'll tell you a story. Once I was walking down the metro stairs on Ravenswood, and I don't even know, and I had both of my arms were like filled with bags because I was gonna do this photo shoot with a friend of mine. So I had like costumes, I also had food, like we were gonna hang out. And I'm walking down the stairs, and somehow my foot gets caught into the shoelace of my other foot. And again, like there are people in front of me, there are people behind me, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking die. Like I am going to crash down these concrete stairs and I'm going to hurt myself very badly. And like in that moment, I paused and I was thinking about it. Somehow I hopped down one stair, hopped down the second to the next stair, and as I hopped that second time, was able to loop my foot from the shoelace and then walk down normally. But in that moment, I felt like I was transporting into another universe where I didn't injure myself.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, but what were the like feelings that made you feel like that?
It like just this, it's interesting. It's like the way to describe it, like a separation almost, like internally, like this idea of like something coming apart, like I am removing myself from this reality and I'm existing in this one now. And it wasn't conscious. Like again, my entire focus was getting my foot free so I didn't like kill myself. But as I was doing it, it was like, you have shifted timelines. Like it was that kind of feeling of like, I have narrowly avoided major disaster.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
I kind of felt that at one point. I was going back home from high school, and it's a long trip. It's like walk a few blocks, take the train, take a bus, walk a few blocks.
Of course.
So I took the bus, I got off, and I got off at my stop. And I was like looking around, and I was like, I feel weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no one here. Like, this is a fucking bus stop on a main street. Why is there no one around?
Right.
And my phone wasn't doing shit. Like I usually get text notifications, whatever.
Yes.
And I called my mom and she didn't answer. And I called my sister and she didn't answer.
What?
And I was just freaked out, dude.
Of course.
But, I mean, I just walked home really fast.
Sure.
And I was like, there better be someone here, man.
Of course.
And I think someone was there.
Yeah.
But like that moment, dude, scared me.
Of course. Well, and that, because I think we can experience these things that like consciously we don't necessarily know what it is, but our body knows like I'm not in the right place. Like I might be in the place I'm like that I'm used to, but like this is some, like the upside down or whatever. Like there is some other alternate version of this space that I've wandered into and I need to get back home somehow because this is not jiving with my reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I was at that point, I was like, oh, it's probably just my anxiety
Sure.
or something like that. And it could be, but man, that shit was weird.
Well, of course. Yes.
But it's interesting that it was for both of us. It was like when we were in public transportation. It might just be the CTA syndrome.
It could be. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Public transportation is always a harrowing experience.
I know. But I mean, when people say, what are those things called that people claim it's because we're in a different timeline? There's like a name. It's
Oh,
like
the Mandela effect.
yes.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
Oh, I 100% believe in that because so I never saw Shazam. I didn't see that movie.
Any people saw that movie?
Well, no. Okay, so here's the thing. I remember this is my memory of Shazam. I remember Kazam coming out and I remember thinking, didn't Sinbad just do this movie 2 years ago? And then 4 years ago, I read some article in, I can't even remember the name of the publication now, but it was like the movie that that never existed, that the internet, that Reddit thinks exists. And so this is actually one of the things I use to determine if people are from my timeline or not. If I ask them if they remember Shazam.
Okay, but what if you're too young?
I know. I don't know.
You need another one.
I do. I need a newer one. Yes.
Dude, I must have been in diapers when that shit came out.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't found one that
Really?
hits me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you test people with that, what's the percentage?
That's a good question. It's been, well, what I'll do is I'll say that it's a little harder now because more people know the fact that the movie doesn't actually exist, because even Sinbad has come out on Twitter, like, I didn't do that movie. You kids are all crazy. It's like, fuck you, I remember that movie poster.
Stop lying.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'll say like, oh, do you remember a movie in the 90s? I think it was like a genie movie, and like I just tried to do that movie Genie, and then if somebody's like, oh yeah, Shaq was in Kazam, and I'm like, right, you're not one of mine. Or people are like, oh yeah, with Sinbad, right? I'm like, yeah, do you remember the name of that movie? And if they say Shazam, then I'm like, guess what, that movie never existed. And then we figure out like where else we are in terms of the converging timelines.
That's
my
cool that you have one. Yeah.
I know, we got to get you one now.
It's the one that does kind of get me a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, oh, man, the thing is, I'm not that observant. Like, like I'm the kind of kid where I would walk into the house and my mom would be like, so, what do you think? And I'd be like, what? And she'd be like, I moved the couch that you're sitting on. You think it looks good? I'd be like, oh, wow. It wasn't here this whole time,
I get that.
But the thing, what's up?
No, go ahead.
The thing that does get me a little bit is the Fruit of the Loom thing.
Oh, yes, right?
It's supposed to be in that cone.
Thank you. It's supposed to be in that cone.
Or whatever the name of it is.
Oh, right. The cornucopia, right?
There we go.
Yes. When I heard that, I was just like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. The time travelers are fucking up the timeline. No.
It's still like, even thinking about it right now, like, I can't imagine what it looks like without the thing.
That's it. Right.
Like, so they just got fruits just floating.
Just laying there, right?
Yeah.
How is that right? It's not appropriate.
Yeah. So maybe that's mine. But I feel like everyone can agree on that one.
Really? I see.
I don't know.
We'll have to do research, I think. Yeah. I'll have to ask people and see, because again, I'm all about doing research and assessing So you figure out how to ask people to try to not sway the answers, right?
Mhm.
And then you got to get those cornucopia answers, and you can
Yeah,
do a study about it.
that one might be too mainstream at this point, though.
That's the problem with so many of these.
Mhm.
Like they get on Reddit or something, and then suddenly everybody knows about it. And not to be a hipster about it, but like I knew about Shazam before it was cool. You know?
Before it did or did not exist.
Thank you. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, man, I'm sure there's other ones that like are in plain sight.
Probably. Yeah. There's probably stuff happening right now that in 10 years people are going to say never happened. It's like, and not just from like the typical historical, like we're going to pretend this stuff didn't happen, but just like everybody remembers it a certain way. It's like, no, actually.
Yeah, I feel like no one's gonna remember that Biden was president.
That's unfortunately very true. I think. Yeah.
In a few years, he might not even remember.
Hold
up 1 second.
Oh, sure.
What's up? I did not know.
Mr. Bob asked if I fed the pups.
Oh, the pups. How are the pups? Do they see anything random in that house?
Those pups only see food and crumbs, okay?
They're good pups.
They're good pups, yeah. My dogs are not like the ones I have at home.
Yes.
My real children.
Yes.
They don't see shit.
Yeah. Good for them.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the people are seeing shit. They don't need to also.
It's fascinating though, isn't it?
Totally. Yes.
These dogs don't see anything either. And like, I think I told you, but the dog that they had before that had passed away wouldn't come downstairs.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Interesting.
So maybe dogs are kind of like similar to people in that way, you know, like some are connected to it and some aren't.
Right. Some again are just food motivated, and that's all. I understand that. I get pretty hungry, so.
Yeah, there's been times where I was pissed to the point where if I did see anything weird, I didn't give a fuck.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
It'd be like, oh, you're gonna knock my mirror down? Guess what? I'm gonna smash it.
Exactly. You can't mess with me. I break bottles with my mind.
I'm an angsty teenager.
Exactly.
Ghost is probably like, yes, that's why I'm feeding on you.
Exactly. Right. The ghosts just want food too. And it's like, this is a food source.
That's an interesting idea because like my two sisters that see the most shit, they are some angry kids, man.
Oh no. Yeah. That energy's got to go somewhere, right?
Yeah. Amongst the people that you know, like what would you say is the kind of people that has experiences like that? Like chill people or?
That's a good question. I feel like that I know two people who have had like dreams and seen things in dreams and then see them in real life or experience them in real life like years later. And it's like mundane things, you know, things that don't necessarily make sense. But then later they're just like, oh, I dreamt that I walked past this exact thing in this neighborhood that I've never been in before, you know. And they're both on a very even keel, and they both are very thoughtful, and they're also both very intuitive and very insightful. And I would even go far as to say that they're both kind of secretive about how like thoughtful and intuitive they are, because like people tend to like try to take their energy. So they're kind of like, they don't let that slip. Like, oh, by the way, I have prophetic dreams.
Well, so like when they say steal their energy.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I don't want people to steal my energy. What do they do?
Well, with people, it's just like insufferable narcissists who are like trying to feed. I feel like you, like the way you present yourself, people don't typically try to like grab a piece of you, because you just
I bite.
Right, exactly.
Not really, but yeah, I feel like a lot of people told me that am unapproachable. And I think it's the Capricorn moon.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's
Right?
that. And plus, you know, I'm Cancer moon. I'm sun and rising.
Yeah,
And Cancers are known for having that outer
the
shell.
shell,
So
exactly. The shell is protective. Like, I mean, great, especially when you're as sensitive as a Cancer as you need that protection. So again, people don't try to like poke at your soft bits. That
I have a
happens.
lot of those.
I know. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay. So I guess I don't have to worry about that. I thought I had to wear like a special necklace or
I mean, I can get you some black tourmaline if you need it, but I think you're okay.
yeah. My God, I used to have one of those, but I gave it away to some people, and most of their piece that I gave away,
Yeah.
all those people, it broke or got lost.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay.
What does that mean?
So I've heard that if a crystal breaks or if you lose it, it's like the universe telling you you don't need it anymore. You know, that
Yeah,
you've kind of done that personal work and you don't need its protection anymore.
I've heard similar things, or that it's just like, well, like specifically for black tourmaline, that it's just charged with such negative energy that
Oh yeah, that it
that it's like, all right, this is all I can do for you. Goodbye.
exactly. Yeah, I think that would make sense too.
I like that idea because it just leaves.
Right, exactly. Just like,
And
no, I'm done. Bye. Like, I
and
like that forthrightness.
yeah, for my sister, she said, "Oh, I just put it in my purse and it disappeared forever."
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, and that happened 2 times, and
What?
yeah, and I'm like, "Well,
Right.
you're angry."
Exactly.
And she has, oh my God, she
She's
has
the
a
hate
lot of
machine.
enemies. So
It was doing heavy duty labor and it really just, you need like a
gotta,
bigger piece
yeah,
for
I
her.
gotta get her a jumbo version.
Exactly. The tiny little chips. There's not
Does
enough
this
power
necklace
in that.
come in jumbo?
Exactly. What's the Costco version of this necklace? That's what I need right
Exactly.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I just imagine like a Costco version of like a little store with like stones and stuff like that.
Yeah. That'd be kind of great. Like, okay, I need labradorite in bulk right now because
Like, I need the biggest stick of sage you've got.
exactly.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah, right. That would be great. I need that.
That
Let's
sounds
make
like
that
a,
business a reality.
oh my God, we're gonna kill it at Burning Man.
Oh my God, you're right. Hmm.
I don't want to go there.
I don't either, personally. No thanks.
I'm gonna have a panic attack.
Nope. Yes, there is that. I just A, hate people, and B, don't want to be out in the sun. So
Yeah. And I never know how to like function around people that are like under hallucinogens and stuff like that.
totally. Yeah. Yeah, I don't that seems like not fun. And I try to like have as much fun as possible since my brain is an anxiety nightmare.
Like,
So
yeah, like I don't
yeah,
want to be responsible for something stupid that you do.
exactly. Yes. Right. You got to suffer the consequences on your own. Don't
Yeah.
drag me into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I a few times you had mentioned to me that you were interested in microdosing.
Oh
Are you
yeah.
still interested in doing something like that?
I still definitely would. Yeah. I've done so much research about like the psychological benefits of it and people like trying that for depression and for anxiety. You know, if that works,
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than Lexapro. I mean, Lexapro is great and all, but like if you can have
Long
like
term.
right, right. Like if you can have like, and that's the thing with microdosing, like all the research indicates that there are long-term benefits to it. It's not
Yeah.
just like, okay, you have to keep doing this forever, you know?
Yeah, and these pills, there's not really any like good studies that I've seen about long-term effects, and I just don't think it's that great for your liver.
Right. It probably can't be, right? Like, I mean, that's why I very intentionally was like, I'm only taking a 10 milligram dose, but I've already been on it for a year. I'm like, I got to figure out a way to,
Dude, time goes by so fast.
especially this past year, like the pandemic, again, it's been like the longest fucking year in it, 2 years really, and like the shortest amount of time
I
ever.
know. I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But back to like the microdosing thing, I've heard that like being in saunas like in really hot temperatures has similar effects.
Really? I've never heard that.
Yeah, and like it's interesting because when I've had like fevers
Mm. Oh,
or like
yeah.
flus and with bad fevers, like I'll be anxiety free and like panic free for like a month.
Oh my God. That's incredible.
It's like a reset. Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Do you have anything that's like a reset for you or?
No. No, but it's interesting you mentioned this. I never thought about this. So like when I was always like an anxious kid, but anytime I would get sick with like a sinus infection or something and get totally knocked out, I would just be super chill. I like as a kid, I beat more video games like sick in bed than when I was healthy because I was just like, whatever, man, I'm just playing this game. And I could just like all that like panic about anything was just gone. It was just lifted from me. So I hadn't thought about that until you mentioned this.
It's so weird because as anxious people, you know, like I don't want to get sick because I feel like I'm going to be so anxious and depressed. But when I get sick, I'm just like, oh, whatever.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
weird.
I know. I think it has to do with like so much of like anxiety and depression is like feeling a lack of control. And like when you are sick, you can't control it. So you just surrender to it. And then at least for me, the panic is like out the window. So yeah.
Yeah. Man, and yeah, it is about control and stuff. Like it's hard. It's been hard to admit to myself that I am a control freak.
Sure. Yeah.
That might be the first time I said it out loud.
Oh my God. And it's being recorded.
It's okay.
I can delete this from the episode if you want.
This is necessary.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my God. But oh my God, I was also looking at my chart this morning.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't know, sometimes like I wake up and I'm like, you know what, today's a good day for me to understand astrology.
Perfect. Yes.
And I have so many opposing like planets and shit.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like a constant struggle.
Okay.
Man, I wish I had written it down, but it's like my whole chart is just fighting each other.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and I have like, well, I was reading and it was like, oh, you have a lot of inner turmoil because you're trying to choose this and that, or between this and that. And like I've always felt like I'm low-key like an evil person.
Yeah.
But
Really?
but trying the best I can to be a
Yes.
good person.
Interesting. Okay. Yes.
And I don't know, does everyone feel like that? Like, is that normal?
I don't know. I mean,
Like,
right. I mean, my moon's in Scorpio. So, I mean, I got a lot of evil thoughts pretty much constantly. But I feel like the Aquarius kind of balances it out because it's more like high-minded, like, what can we do as a culture and a world to be better?
yeah,
So,
I just feel
yeah.
like a reformed demon.
Right. Okay, so that's how I feel constantly, that I was this demon that escaped hell and I'm like I figured out how to be a human, and so nobody's caught on to me yet. And I'm like, you know, I have all these raging thoughts, but I'm just like, whatever, man, I'm just here. Let's make the world a better place. So yeah.
For me, it's like I could, but I won't. You know, like,
of course.
I've got this whole plan that I'm not going to put into effect.
And really, that's your gift to the world, right? That you are not going to act on your evil impulses.
Yeah, like, can I ruin people's lives? Easily.
But
I would never.
Right.
Not me.
Good. Exactly.
I'm reformed.
Exactly.
Maybe it was a baptism, huh?
Oh, hey, maybe.
They're onto something there.
Purge the demon from you. Yeah, I could see that.
I didn't work on my sister, so never mind.
Oh, true story. Maybe she needs another one. The first one just didn't take.
Yeah, I got that good baptism water from Mexico. Very pungent.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's the real stuff. Not that cheap
Yeah.
American shit.
Yeah, no, that was probably says like PepsiCo on the bottom of that shit.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
It's Crystal Pepsi, or it's all
Oh my
just
God.
soy.
New conspiracy theory. Baptism water is just
Oh my God.
Crystal Pepsi that was left over.
Yeah, like flat Crystal Pepsi. I totally buy this.
It's real.
We could post this on Reddit and we would get followers for this. That's the amazing thing.
Dude, anything can be a fucking conspiracy. Oh my fucking
I
God.
know. What's your favorite conspiracy?
That's hard because there's so many.
Mm-hmm.
God, which one's my favorite? I don't know, because they're all like kind of most of them now are kind of silly.
Yes.
But I do enjoy when people will talk about politicians eating babies. Like,
Yes.
it's
The
obviously
yeah.
obviously it's like people take it too far,
Totally. Yes.
but it's funny when they talk about it.
Right. Absolutely, because they're serious about it. The
Yeah.
people who are serious about it. Yeah.
And also because I did have a dream that young women were being led into all the pyramids of the world, and underground there was like a sex slave trade, and there was these evil aliens like making hybrid humans and just like, you know, using them like toys.
Yes.
So anything that's kind of similar to that dream I had,
Of course.
it's like amusing to me.
Absolutely. Of course. Yeah.
It's not it's not that funny, but like I don't know why I'm laughing. It's because it's ridiculous. That's why.
Well, yes, exactly. Yes. Because you understand you had a dream, and some people don't understand that. So yeah.
It was a weird dream though. When I told my boss about it, and he was like, "What movie is that?" I'm like, "It's not a fucking movie. I just told you it's a dream."
Exactly.
And he was like,
my
"Oh."
brain did this. Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, well, it should be a movie."
I mean, that's true. Especially now with QAnon, you could probably sell that screenplay and make some money off of that.
Oh my God, someone's gonna buy it, and it's gonna be like a fucking D movie with like who even knows in it.
Right.
Probably like people from those TLC Christian families.
Oh my God, exactly. It's like Kevin Sorbo, Dean Cain, and the Duggars. Like that's the cast of your movie.
That's the cast, dude. I'd actually watch that maybe.
I'm liking this, all these $1 million ideas.
And then like the main alien takes his mask off and it's Biden.
Because
that's
done.
Because they would love that shit.
Oh my God, eat that shit up. Yes. You could probably get this crowdfunded today, like, without even a script.
Oh my God. I would just be like a dumbass, but like I could unleash a lot of damage.
It's very true. See, this is my Scorpio moon. Like, oh, here's what you should do. Thankfully, you know, like, no,
I still want to do it. I still want to do it.
Obviously, of course.
But I won't.
That's good of you. Yeah.
Oh my God, maybe I want to write that so bad now.
I think you should. And then just call it a satire. Like, if they don't, like, what you could do is you bilk them out of a lot of money. And then you're like, hey, I did this satirically to show how terrible all you people are and how you believe crazy things. And then you get even more money for your next project from people who hate the QAnon people. So really,
best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Wait, but now I got to plan the future project.
Sorry, I'm like projecting too far ahead.
No, dude, I should be paid to do that because, like,
yes.
God, I have like, if I have to do one thing, I think 5 steps ahead.
Yep. Yeah, I don't understand anxiety or ADHD or whatever it is. If I think of a thing I think of the like all the possibilities. It's like, okay, well, this could lead to this and could lead to this and could lead to this.
Mhm.
I guess some people don't think that way. I don't understand that, but
It's like a diagram, like a
oh
web
yeah,
diagram.
exactly. Yes. It feels like
Man,
a family tree of just like,
yeah,
oh, okay, here's all the possibilities. Yeah.
yeah. It's like we can see all the alternative universes. I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, that's why we have crazy dreams.
It all connects together.
It does. It does.
I remember you earlier said that some of your friends get like that memory of a dream.
Hmm.
Dude, that feeling is so frustrating.
Yes. Yes.
Like there's moments where I like feel certain like weather, temperature,
Mm.
or smell combination of things, or like really the most subtle things. And then I just have like a flash of another place,
Interesting.
but I don't understand what that place is.
Interesting. Do you get like visual flashes or just like a feeling of something?
Both,
Okay. Wild. All right.
both. But it's like so fast
Yeah.
that it's like I didn't realize. You know, like when people hide
Mhm.
pictures in movies, and it's just like,
Oh yeah, the
flash.
subliminal. Yes.
Yeah, it's like that fast.
Wild. Okay.
And it's just so uncomfortable because it's like I want to understand what it is.
Of course. And it's just out of reach. You've been given enough information to know that there's something there, but not enough to like chase it and actually track down what it is.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
like, you know, like I always think of things like what's the more realistic explanation?
Mm.
And what's the fun explanation, you know?
Yeah, of course.
The realistic one says maybe it's like from being young or something like that.
Mm.
The fun one is, I don't know, past life, some other timeline,
Yes.
something like that.
Yeah.
don't
I
know.
don't know. I tend to be more of like the fun explanation because I think reality is a lot more sophisticated than we think of it. Because all of even our most kind of outlandish conceptions of what reality could be, we still invented and are still limited by our brain and our brains that are evolutionarily adapted to exist in like three-dimensional space and a linear time dimension. Like there's so much else going on. And I think you can kind of catch glimpses, you know?
Yeah. And it's like most people still don't understand the concept of like a fourth dimension.
Right.
And like I've seen videos of scientists explaining it, and I just been like, hold up.
Right.
Can
Yeah.
you do that again?
Totally. Totally.
And
Yeah.
I'm not that stupid. Well, I recently found out that I have the same IQ as Rush Limbaugh, so maybe I am stupid.
So when are you going to start your right-wing talk show?
My God, it's gonna be about how it is gonna be a right wing show. It's gonna be about eating the right wings.
Oh my God, I love that. Yes.
Yeah. Find the best sauce, you know, all that stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then going to like wing joints in the city is a business expense. So really, this is also a genius idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many clicks for nothing.
Right.
Just to see me crying over a few nibbles of something spicy.
Exactly.
I think I'm gonna scratch that plan for my own safety.
There you go. Again, you're very good at self-regulating. It's very impressive. Yeah.
It's the pull, the push and pull.
Of course.
Man, my sister keeps sending me pictures of herself
I
because she
know.
just took her fucking wisdom teeth out.
Oh, that's traumatic.
I can't afford that. Good thing they never grew out.
All right. See, that shows you're more evolved. You didn't need them, so you didn't get them.
I feel like they're somewhere in there.
Yeah, they're just like chilling out.
Did you get yours taken out?
Yeah, I only my top ones came in, so I only had to deal with taking those out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I just didn't eat well enough as it growing up.
I mean, sometimes early poverty helps you.
Yeah, there was like a meeting in my body, like, hey, with this budget, we cannot push these last 4 ones out. Like, there's just not enough resources in here.
We got to cut the tooth budget.
Like if we do this, we can't get that last centimeter of growth out, and God knows she needs it.
Yeah, I think that, right? I think that makes sense, the way your body operates.
I really hope so. Thank you, body.
Yeah,
I'd rather have this extra centimeter.
Of course. Because like you said, every centimeter counts.
Every centimeter fucking counts. God, it must be nice to be tall.
The only bad thing, which I will mention, is that strangers will ask you to grab things off of the top shelf for them at the grocery store.
Isn't that fun? Like,
I mean, it's not bad. Yeah, it's just like, it's really funny every time when someone's like, I'm so sorry, could you reach that? I was like, oh yeah, sure, here you go.
Is it old people or what?
It's mostly old people. Yes, it's typically older ladies. I think dudes have too much of a ego about it to ask. I did have
it's cute.
Right. I did have a guy around my age like ask me once if I could get something. I was like, yeah, sure, no problem.
Here you go, loser.
Yeah. I might have thought that, but I didn't say that.
Damn, I really would want to say that. I'm a good person though.
Yeah, exactly. Right? You rein in all those evil impulses. That's what makes you a good person.
I'm proud of myself.
You should be proud of yourself.
Yo, I really do think that like if I was like taller, I'd be rich by now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know how athletes say like, oh, I would have been in the NBA if my knee didn't give out in 12th grade.
Yes, right.
Same shit. Just an excuse.
Yeah.
I would have been someone if I was a little bit taller.
But you also would have probably gotten more unwanted attention from people who are like, oh, who's that tall person over there?
Yeah, I would have been pregnant by now. You're right.
Yeah, right. Yikes. Yeah. So again, your body was looking out for you later. Like, okay, we'll keep her at this height and then she can hide.
Damn it. That's a good point. The other day I was thinking like I wanted to be a damn, that sun's coming in bright, huh?
It's bright. Yeah. It's like right there. So
I can see it. I was gonna say I wanted to be a surgeon growing up.
Really?
But and even to this day I was like, if I could go back, I'd be a plastic surgeon.
Oh wow.
But then I was like, I've always known I had shaky hands, but I didn't realize that would have been bad until like the other day.
Oh really? What happened?
I was just like, wow, I can't draw a straight line. And then I was I think this is why I grew up poor, because if not, I would have been a surgeon.
Of course.
Just fucking up left and right.
Of course. Yeah, there typically aren't shaky hand surgeons out there.
God, I know. And then so, you know, now I got no reason to go back to school.
Of course, exactly, right? You gotta just commit to your art. So I want to hear about the mantis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me find the picture real quick.
Okay, cool.
Whoever is listening to this, I need your help.
Listeners, please.
A few years ago, like maybe 2-3 years ago, my sister's boyfriend took a picture, was taking pictures, Snapchats. You know how kids are. They like to show that they're out, even if they're just outside of their house.
Totally.
So he's taking pictures. He captures a picture of his friend. There's something in the background. So they keep that picture. and they just like pass it around to everyone. They're like, what the fuck is that?
Mm-hmm.
No one knows. And then they know that I'm into like weird stuff and that I read up on it a lot.
Yeah.
So they come to me and they're like, we got a picture for you.
You're the expert.
And I'm
You
like,
figure it out.
and I'm like, it's nothing I've never seen before. Show me. But it's fucked up.
Oh my God.
It's pretty bad. So I have this picture and it's so hard to find because it's so far back. Let's see. I gotta send it to you so you can
Yes,
post it.
you do. I can post it as like the art for the episode.
Right? Like I really need I've
Yeah.
shown this picture to a photographer,
Oh, okay.
like a professional photographer, and I'm like, what is this?
Yes.
And he's like, Mel, I really don't know.
Wild. Okay.
And so that's not really comforting, but it does look like
No.
it looks like a mantis wearing a dress for some reason. It sounds silly.
But if that's what it is, that's what it is.
Can I text you to you right
Yeah,
now?
please.
But yeah, I mean, if anyone has a picture like this that's similar, or if anyone has like the background knowledge
Yeah,
to like distinguish what is in this picture, like I want answers,
of course.
even if they're not definitive, you know?
Yes. Well, yeah, just to get somebody like some input into what this could be.
And it wasn't doctored at all.
Okay.
And I did turn up the contrast, but that's it.
Sure.
And like the image, there was no one there at all. No one at all in
So
that
wild.
background.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it doesn't even look like it has a head really. It's kind of like floaty. I don't know. Did you get it yet?
I just got it. My God. Yeah, what? Just what? Just what? Like, just what? Yeah, I'll post this.
Nothing about it is right.
No, and everything is wrong about this.
Like even if it was like if someone says, oh, it's obviously someone there.
Sure.
Like who the fuck is shaped like that?
Well, that exactly. Again, like you said, those like mantis limbs.
And then like the fact that there's like not really a head there, it's like
Right.
kind of a head.
Yeah, but it's just
This
kind of
picture's
like a little
terrifying.
nub. Yes. Agreed. Agreed. And I'm going to make sure everybody else is terrified by it.
And like I swear it's not doctored.
Yeah.
It's a fucking Snapchat from kids that don't even know how to use a printer.
Right. Right.
I don't even think these kids know how to use your T9.
Oh my God. Babies.
You know what I mean? So like
Yeah, totally.
it's not like I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't get over this thing.
I mean, obviously, yes. Yeah, this is bananas. Well, I'm gonna make sure everybody sees it and is traumatized by it, and hopefully we'll give you answers to what it could be,
Yeah.
because that's crazy.
Or if there's like another like similar picture out there, that'd be fun.
Right, of course. Like, right, like what if this is some kind of cryptid and then there's multiple like sightings or weird photos?
I mean, in Chicago, there's been like Mothman sightings, but I don't know if he's be wearing a dress like that.
I mean, maybe he's got a new like style, you know, just like chilling in
Yeah.
people's backyards in a dress.
I don't know. I thought he'd be taller. I'm just
Okay. Now you're height shaming.
coming from a 5-foot person. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of short cryptids out there.
Yeah. Right? The goblins in Hellier, they're what, like 3-4 feet tall? Yeah.
On a good day, probably with them ears.
Exactly. Only if they're really excited and the ears are
Dude.
straight up.
Like it's insane how often like my boyfriend draws those things and he's never watched.
Really?
Yeah.
You're just like psychically beaming that information into his brain. So,
I wonder.
yes.
Or I don't know, he said it's his first time in this world, so
Interesting.
maybe he still has memories of his goblin brother and
Oh, he must. Yes. He's been in a parallel universe this entire time. Now he's trying to be a human.
no, it's not doing that good of a job, I'm gonna tell you that. Quite often I just wait for him to take a mask off.
I know he's not really passing as well as he
Dude,
could
the
be.
other day I was watching TikToks and this guy was like, I have EDS. And one of the signs of EDS is I can stretch my skin.
Oh,
And David's like, oh, I can do that. And I'm like, but you don't have EDS.
yeah.
And he's like, I know, but look. And I made him show his parents, and his parents were like, we had no idea he could do that.
I mean, they didn't know they gave birth to a goblin, you know?
Yeah, and we were all of us. We were just like, where else can you do it? Try this, try that. like the little science experiment that he is.
Oh my God, that's incredible. I love it.
I think that's a good place to wrap it up. That's
I
hilarious.
think so. Yes, it's perfect. All right. Why don't you plug everything that you want to plug?
Well,
People
okay.
should follow you everywhere.
Yeah, so I am mostly, when I'm not scaring myself on the internet, I'm an illustrator. You can find my work at astro_mel on Instagram. Don't even bother trying to find my website because I never update it. Might have not even paid this month's bill. Then I do have my own podcast, which this lovely lady's been on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Very
called
good podcast.
Cobra's Clutch. You can find it at 773 Cobra's Clutch on Instagram. And that's it.
Cool. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Dude, thank you.
Yeah.
As usual, so fun.
So much fun. Yes. I have to come visit you soon.
The dogs are waiting.
I know. Oh, and I'm waiting for them.
Honestly, I can't wait for them to see you and start wiggling. Like that's I love when they get excited.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, now we definitely have to plan a hangout so I can see the little wiggly butts.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching and or listening, depending on what service you found this on. As I mentioned at the top of the episode, Melissa is one of my favorite people, and having her on the podcast was a nice excuse to talk to her. We used to work together. I miss seeing her all the time. So we get to talk about weird and wonderful things. Hopefully you enjoyed this conversation as well. I will be doing more of these in the future, hopefully. I've got at least one recorded at the time of recording this. And if you have anything weird and wonderful that you want to talk about, if you have a sense of play about the paranormal and the occult and about UFOs, any of that, reach out to me. I am perpetually on Twitter at Kali Butterfly. That's Kali Butterfly. You can also reach out to PanParacon on Twitter or panparacon@gmail.com, and someone will get back to you at some point. Thanks again for listening, and I hope you have a playful and curious day.